Yeah, we're back, people. Big up to everyone that's in the live chat and for everyone who's listening on catch up. Some home truths tonight. It's a bit of therapy for us. A ridiculously disappointing result, to say the least, last night. And I've had the privilege and not so much the privilege to chat about it today and try and blow some steam last night and today to try and get over it. And I don't think I have still. I still think I'm a bit pissed off about it. And I think that's probably an understatement. So tonight I've got the pleasure of speaking to three other Arsenal fans who you all know very well. Big up to Graham, but he's not in the house tonight. He's busy. But we got Albert JTV in the house again. Albert, big up to you, brother. Really appreciate you coming on. And of course, we got AD back in the house as well, with me and Lee. I've said enough really in the last coming up to 24 hours on my channels. I think everyone's probably heard enough from me today and last night. So I'm going to come to Lee and I'm going to throw some questions to the panel because I genuinely don't know the answers to some of these because I feel like for the last 5 years, maybe it's me that's been deluded because this is a real sort of shock to everybody, but not so much to me. Anyway, Lee, you were at the game. I saw your fan cam and I could sense the passion and emotion. I think I was probably on your wavelength, if not even more angry at times in my match reaction. But I want to get your thoughts on how you're feeling now because sometimes you can chill out a bit over the hours. Sometimes you can get even more angrier. Sometimes you just stay the same. And there are people out there that genuinely see football as a, this isn't really important to me. I just watch it because I like football and I move on with my life. Nobody on this panel's like that, I don't think. You feel it and you hurt and you live it. How are you, mate?
Hurt, let down. I believed in what Mikel said. I believed in all the speeches. Believed about the boat. Unfortunately, the plug's gone out of that. Someone's put a great big hole in that and it's sunk. It sunk at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And listen, I'm not here to criticise anybody that believes that Arsenal will go and beat Spurs and still go and win this league. That's everybody's got their way of dealing with it and whatever. I believed in this manager. I believed that we was the best team in this league. And I have said on many occasions, I've never feared Manchester City. I still don't fear Manchester City, right? What I've always feared is us and our mentality. That's what I've always feared. Performances that I've seen. I go back to the Liverpool game, 0-0, and we decided to take a point instead of losing, right? Okay, on that game. I then look at Bournemouth. A little bit of pressure on that game. Gabriel giving the ball away in the first couple of minutes and we're struggling 1-0 down. And then I look at games like Nottingham Forest and I try to make excuses that, we should have won that game with the goals we missed. Then I go on to the game against Manchester United. 1-0 up. As soon as we 1-0 up, there we go back defending. 2-2. What do? We go back defending, lose it 3-2. I then look at the Brentford game. As poor as we were, you can take a little bit of consolation that they're a good side and it was a good point. 1-0 up. What do we decide to do? We try to defend. What was inexcusable yesterday, right? We go 1-0 up against Wolverhampton Wanderers that have just sold their striker, right? And brought in a championship striker preparing for next season. And Mikel Arteta, let's get the troops back. Let's get back and defend. We done absolutely nothing to win that game after that. What we done was, if we get another goal, we'll take it. But ultimately, we're not going to concede. What does that tell you about Arsenal? And what can happen when you're totally trying to control a game of football? A wonder goal can happen. We got that. And a mistake can happen. We give them that. Manchester United. With 2 unbelievable goals. And what else was there? A fucking mistake. Right. So there's those. We, as a club, under this manager, I'm telling you this now, Mikel Arteta is more afraid to lose than he is to win. And that is a fact. He goes into his shell after 4.5 minutes. You go up to a team, you go up in front to a team that's bottom of the league for a reason and going out possibly the Premier League on record points. Going up there last night, we was with some Wolves fans, 4-0 by half time, they were saying. When it went 1-0 after 4, they turned around and said, told you, we are going to get stuffed tonight. Didn't happen. And you can make excuses and you can blame who you like, right? That is down to us. There's no excuses for that yesterday. No excuses whatsoever. Then, by a miracle of not playing at all any football and being outplayed by Wolverhampton Wanderers on 51%, us on 49, right? We get 2-0 up. What a miracle. Then you go, right, we've got the best defenders in the league. Go and defend. They couldn't do that. Couldn't see it out. Couldn't defend. So when people turn around to me and say, do you think you can still win the league? Not with these players. We showed more fight at the end of the football game than we did during the whole game. I don't want to see what I see from Jesus and all that, like, you know. Someone tried to make an excuse. It was the fella that stuck his finger up his bum. That's why he done that. Right? I'm not having that. When you've got a team that's bottom of the league, mocking you, second again, ole, 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 what do you do to that team? You go straight up the fucking pitch and you score a goal against them. And the next time they sing it, you do it again. And if they sing it again, you do it again. And you do it again. And you do it again. So they stop. Because I'll tell you what, we've done exactly that to Wigan. They started singing that, bang, goal, bang, goal. They soon shut up. But oh no, not under this manager and not under these players. We decide to defend. Russell Wald, big up Russ. Put in a chat to me today, and he's spot on when he says this. Did you notice that with 4 minutes to go, we got a corner and no one knew who to take?
Embarrassing. Right? Couldn't believe
that is it. Because they're told exactly what to do all the time. There's no one going, oh, I'll take the corner. I'll take the... Not one of them. They did not have a clue who was taking a corner. A professional football club going for the title. And he's right. It's embarrassing. It tells you that this team is coached till it goes to the toilet.
Micromanaged.
I'm sure that Mikel Arteta has got up on his wall how to wipe their arse in the changing room and put it down the toilet in fucking 4 statements. You roll it off. Only two roll. Don't take no more than 3. Just two. Only 2. Open up left cheek. Wipe. Open up right cheek. Don't do no more than 1 wipe. That's too much. Too much. Bring it in. Bring your cheeks in. Bring your cheeks in. Bring it back. Bring your arse over. Bring it over the bowl a little bit more. And fire! Everything is overcoached and told what to do. So much so from a corner. Professional footballers. And I'm going to say
no
this
left
now.
Footer, apparently. No left footer to swing it in, apparently.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well,
pathetic.
Right. And just finally, that's Mikel, right? But what I will say is that those players have got a lot of answering to do as well. Because I like the situation. Like, people have slagged it off. I liked it that he tried Saka in that position. I will say this, though. Did he deserve to start in front of Eze on performances against Wigan? Not really. So what does it matter how well you played? It doesn't matter. I thought Eze was far better in that role than Saka, but Saka gets the role and then he gets only after playing half a game. By the by, done okay. But then you've got to have, if you're having bread and butter on your toast, you've got to have the bread and you've got to have the butter. The bread Saka, the butter, you've got to have that. Madueke was non-existent. So what was that all about? So really, you might as well have Saka in that position and play Madueke in that position. What? So he's let down by players, guys. I'm sorry that he is. The team is overcoached. It's not. It's too drilled, too regimental, and when things go wrong, that's what happens.
I agree with the majority of that. There's a little bit at the end, maybe I don't agree with, but I'll come on to that in a minute because I think it's a nice segue. AD, raw thoughts on this one. How much do the players have to take on the chin, and how much of this was Mikel's system and poor tactics last night?
Oh, do you know what? It's so frustrating, isn't it? Because I think I counted 6 times that we've had chances to pull away and get one hand on this trophy. And then we go to Wolves last night, score again, 2-0 up. And you expect 100% to win the game. What, they got 8 points? I think it's 9 points they've got on the board, bottom of the league. And then it just goes completely wrong. I totally agree with you, Lee. Why can't we just go out and put 4 or 5 past a team like Wolves? Because we should have, really. But, we just didn't deserve it. It was poor. I just don't understand why we go back into this defensive shape when we get one up, 2-0 up. It just doesn't work. We're getting picked off too many times, and we are missing chances to get a hand on this trophy. And for me, I'm really worried now. I just don't, to draw with Wolves, bottom of the league, it tells you something, doesn't it? It tells you something that these players they got the minerals to do it when it matters. And we've had so many chances to pull away and we haven't taken it. And I know we've discussed it on the podcast before, but we haven't really gone into depth with it because Man City have also been faltering as well. But, that was not good enough last night. That is not a Premier League winning side. Chelsea went there, 3 or 4 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, smashed them, 4-1, I think it was, or 3-1, I can't remember. That's what we should have done last night. And like you said, Lee, it should be done in the first half. I don't agree with Saka playing in that central role, if I'm honest, as they should have played. All right, he scored after 4 minutes, but, he's experimenting again when I don't think he should be. He should be sticking to what is our best side. Saka needs to be playing on the right, and it needs to be Eze or Odegaard in that 10 role or Havertz when he's fit. But I know we're getting all these injuries again. But Arteta's, I'm trying to pinpoint where we're going wrong, but it has to stop with him, doesn't it? He's the manager of the team, and I just don't understand why we just go back into our shell, into a defensive shape to try and see out the game. Why not go and win the game and get it won, and then he can, ring the changes. It's just, I'm worried now. I think we've had too many chances to pull away, and we just haven't taken them. And Man City, having won at Anfield, I'm not sure they're going to drop many more points moving forward. So it's, pissed off about that, obviously, but I'm not sure about going forward. I'm worried now.
And you'd have a right to be, man. Albert, the mentality is something I've questioned for a while from this manager and this team as a collect and individually, to be fair, at moments. What do you make of it going forward? Mentality, there's obviously a lot of pressure on now. Man City are laughing, let's be real. Christ, we're not even that good, and this team are really letting us in here. You think we're going to bottle it again, bruv?
Loaded question. If we don't win the league, to me, the common theme why we won't win it is because of our attack. I mean, that's staring you right in the face. I mean, Dan, I look at our last 3 seasons, right? And I'm not including this one, but I'll come on to it. 22-23 season, scored 88 goals. The following season, 91. Last season, 69. The warning sign was a drop off there, and we're only on 52 now. No double figures for any of our attackers, GA wise, in the Premier League. And I'll go back to what I kind of said before, Dan, and it ties in with the mentality thing, because the question's always going to be asked of these group of players over the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it may be. And with a manager, do they have the know-how? Are they streetwise enough? Do they have the bollocks, basically, to get over the line? And it's a plausible question that is going to be asked on podcasts, in the mainstream media. Us guys have been podcasting for as long as I can remember. The same questions are always going to be asked and asked. And then I'll go back to what I've said before previously. When I went onto the hybrid squad in January 2025. And it's actually quite relevant now. And I said at the time I think we drew 1-1 at Brighton, the whole sleeper penalty incident thing. And I said that day that I think sometimes you can talk about the quality of the players till you're blue in the face. That's fine, because damn, we've got the players we've got. We've got to work with them. But I said that sometimes, whether you're going for a league title, whether you're trying to qualify for an European place, or you're trying to fight for your lives and beat relegation, sometimes the players need to hear a new voice. And me and Sophie got a lot of pushback that day for me saying that. We didn't come out and say that he should be sacked. Let me be clear. I said that sometimes in football, it happens. League happens. Sometimes, there's players need new tactics, or they need to hear a new voice on the training pitch or in the dugout, or I don't know, one-to-ones, or maybe they have Microsoft Teams meetings now. I don't know, it's in their spare time, but sometimes they need to hear a new voice. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to finish up, Dan, is whatever happens this season, getting over the line, not getting over the line, and this is not just off the back of yesterday's result, because that was a horror show yesterday at Molineux. If I had the money, I'd reimburse every Arsenal fan. Was it 3,000 that went there, judges, to go and witness that? And whatever happens this season, Dan, getting over the line or not, them set of Arsenal players, whether it's the ones that have been there for 2-3 years, they've come this season in the summer, or whatever happens in the next 2-3 transfer windows, they need to hear a new voice. End of story for me.
I think you're speaking a lot of facts, bruv. I have a lot of concerns right now. I always had the concern of, can we handle the pressure? I always had the concern of, do we have what it takes to get across the line? I always had the concern of mentality. But I'll go through this season with you very quickly and short, because I've written down all of the games so far this season. And unfortunately, I can only count on one hand how many of them that I've genuinely enjoyed watching. It's been pretty horrific, to be honest with you, which means one thing: we have to win, because you cannot play like this and not win, because it really does turn you into a David Moyes or a Sam Allardyce or a Tony Pulis, like everyone takes the piss out of, because that's what they did. They played that style of football but didn't win. Conte Mourinho played that style of football and did win. Manchester United at Old Trafford didn't enjoy it, 1-0. Leeds at home, 5-0. Yeah, I'd expect to smash them, but I'd say I enjoyed that one. Anfield lost 1-0, no. Forest 3-0 against Ange, quite funny, but I wouldn't say it was buzzing, and I was really happy. 1-1 at home to City, no. Newcastle away, last minute, 2-1. Love a last-minute winner, but on another day, that might not have happened, but I'll give that one. 2-0 at West Ham, that's standard. They've been shit in the relegation zone. 1-0 at Fulham, no. 1-0 at Palace, no. 2-0 at Burnley, no. 2-2 at Sunderland, no. 4-1 at Spurs, yes. 1-1 at Chelsea, disgusting. 10 men, no. 2-0 at Brentford, routine win. Lost 2-1 to Villa, no. Beat 2-1 Wolves. Ollie Gherkin got another goal. He's our top scorer, I think, OG. Didn't enjoy that one. Played shocking against them at home and away this season. 1-0 penalty at Everton. Didn't enjoy it. 2-1. Raya makes an unbelievable save against Brighton. We win 2-1. Didn't enjoy it. 4-1 against Villa, yes. 3-2 against Bournemouth, no. 0-0 against Villa, Liverpool, no. 0-0 against Forest, no. 3-2 lost to United, no. 4-0 at Leeds, yes. 3-0 at Sunderland, yeah, I'll give you that one. 1-1 at Brentford, 2-2 at Wolves. Basically, guys, I haven't enjoyed this season so far. I haven't. And we're sitting top and we're in everything and we can do a quadruple. I'm kind of feeling like I need to see more now, because I look on the pitch. It is one of the worst attacks I've seen in the 35 years of sport in this football club. It is abysmal. Now, it's not because individually they're crud, because actually they're not bad. They can score goals. Something's wrong with the system, because we have now had, take a guess, not one, number 10, not two, not three people in the 10, not four. Not 5 people playing in the 10. We've had 6 now with Bukayo Saka. 6 people playing in the 10, and none of them are any good in it. We've had 5 strikers playing in the 9. None of them look any good in it. Trossard and Martinelli are doing auditions to who can be the shittest. That is one of the worst wide winger midfield performances I've seen from anybody in Martinelli last night. That was absolutely embarrassing to the point where I thought if that was a Sunday League lad, you'd go, oh, bless him. Madueke on the right, not really doing much better, in my opinion. Rice and Zubamendi. Christian Norgard must have come off every single game going, that's me now. I'll be playing next week. No, you won't be. This was the Premier League captain of Brentford. He can't play against Brentford. He can't play against Wolves. He can't play against Leeds. Where's this guy going to play? Rice and Zubamendi are running on fumes. They ain't playing well at the moment. And then you come to the experienced heads who ain't let us down for the last 6 to 8 months. In David Raya, in Gabriel, in Timber, and even in Saliba. I've seen Saliba get spinned 4 games in a row consecutively. Why? Never got spinned 4 times in the whole of his Arsenal career. But he's been spinned 4 times in 4 games. Maybe he's playing too many games, Mikel. Mosquera looks all right. I'll give him a well. Gabriel. My God. One of my favourite players. I have never seen 2 performances in a row as bad as that from this lad. And he had a bozo gene when he came to Arsenal, by the way, in the first season. And he's playing better then than he was now. Timber. I'm sorry, bruv. Where is Ben White? Because he needs to play. This guy is not fit enough. He is losing the ball. He's atrocious passing. And he's losing all the jewels out. I've seen some bad individual performances. And I'm getting to the stage now where it's the North London derby and it won't happen. But I tell you what, I'd go from Raya all the way up and go, right, you played last time, you were shit. Kepa, you're in. Right back. Oh, no, thanks. Ben White, you're coming in. Left back, Nkapia, you can stay because, again, you were the only one with half decent. The rest of yous are changing because you were absolute shambles out there and you don't deserve to play another game straight back in from the individual performances I've seen. We have got 2 wins in 7 and we're supposed to win this title. Against Forest and Liverpool, we were supposed to be going 10, 11, maybe even 12 points clear. We are now going to be 2 points clear when they win their game in hand. And they will win their game in hand because they're laughing at us. They are right. Well, I've just had a Man City. I've got another bloody Man City fan. Obviously, come on after this. I've had a Man City fan on my show today going, how have you let us get 4 points now? You know we've done it now. It's done. They all think it's done. And I tell you what, so do I. I think it's done. Because if you can't go to Brentford or Molineux and pick up 3 points, how the fucking hell are you supposed to go to the Etihad and do it? Because that's what we've got to do now, people. If you think we've got to go to the Etihad and not lose, you are clueless. We've got to go and beat them. Even if we're 6 points clear, we've got to go and beat them. Now, I'll end on this and come back to you, Lee. I've said to you for every single season that Mikel Arteta has had, whether we were going for 8th, whether we were getting 5th and missing out on top 4, and whether we were going for a title, we have had a cluster of bad results. And I said to you, I haven't seen that yet. Let's see it play out. See if we get a cluster of bad results. Bingo. Ticked off. Cluster of bad results. Can't beat Forest. Can't beat Liverpool. Can't beat Brentford. Lose to Man United. Can't beat Wolves. You can't do that in a title race, man. Draws are like losses. They kill you in title races. Draws are disgraceful against those teams. Forest and Wolves look like they're probably going down. And we haven't been able to beat them. Then you look at Liverpool. Everyone's smashing them. All of my Liverpool panelists come on and went, oh, go on in, Gav, we've done. What's your prediction? 4-1 Arsenal, 3-0 Arsenal, 2-0 Arsenal. They could not believe it, mate. 0-0. Take that. Jesus Christ. How have they not beat us this season? Everyone else has. Forest have. Burnley have. Arsenal haven't. So when people say we're just 8 points clear, we're still 7 points clear. We're still 6 points. We're still 5 points. We're still 4-3-2. Soon it will be. We're only 2 points behind them. We're still in this. We're only 4 points behind them. So I'm sorry when people say that, oh, you just don't like the manager. You're not really sure. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not sure about him. I don't know the geezer. I don't really know any of the Arsenal managers and I don't really care who they are. But I like managers who win. And this manager has proven to me time and time again that when it gets a little bit pressure, no, it's done. And that's my concern going forward now, boys. I've got to be honest with you, Lee.
No, listen, and what you said, you can't argue with. But I'm not going to slag off people that are turning around and saying, like, they think, like, it's only 5 points, it's 6 points, it's 2 points, or it's 1 point and all that. People that can be positive, good luck to them. All right, you know. I also got to say, you know what I mean, you know, get rid of the fraud I've seen, you know what I mean, why do you like Arteta and all that? Like, listen, I've always said this, and I'll say it again. Arsenal got no divine right to win a title. What they have got the right to do is challenge, and that's what he's done. He has made us challenge. But once we've challenged, then you've got to get it over the line. And that doesn't mean to say he's a crap manager. It doesn't mean to say he's a fraud. It doesn't mean to say he's this and he's that. He's good enough to get us where we've got, which is not what we've been used to over the years. I go everywhere now, home and away, expecting to win games of football, whether it be Anfield, whether it be Man City, Man United, and when I've come away from places like Chelsea this season, winning 3-2, I've been disappointed that we've won 3-2. I've come out of Chelsea losing 6-0, 2-0, and not in the game, right? So there are things that he has done. But there comes a line, a line in the sand. And I'm afraid that line in the sand is there now. And it's getting bigger and bigger because you have got a chance to manage the team over the line and you've not done it. And at this moment in time, he hasn't done it. He has not failed yet. So I'll give him that. But what I'm seeing is not going to get us to the title. The way we are playing is not going to get us over the line. He's far, far too cautious. Now he might rip up the book, and he's going to have to rip up the book and go back to the book he went to 2 years ago when we went to Sheffield United and won 6-0, went to West Ham and won 6-0, went to Burnley and won 5-0. He has got to fucking open that book, right, and get results. He's also got to do is look at himself now, look at the players. As you've quite rightly said, Dan, right, we ain't won, was it 2 in 7 games, right? I have been saying for 4 or 5 weeks, Ben White's got to play it right back. And people go, no, you can't leave Timber out. Got to play, can't work. Why? Ben White's a good defender. If Ben White can't play against Wolves and Wigan, right, and not get the result, what's he doing at the football club?
Facts.
Right? You can say that about Mascara. He's played very, very well in the last couple of games, right? He could have played in that other game. He's had to come in against Brentford away and put in a top-class performance and done it. And Kepier, like, you know what I mean? I've criticised him, you know, maybe at fault for the first goal. I don't know, not shut down quick enough. Like, I thought he played really well yesterday. Showed a bit about himself, right? Norgard has a fantastic performance. Was it FA Cup man of match, wasn't he? Or you know, whatever, like, you know. Doesn't get a look in. Eze has his best game for 6 weeks, not on the pitch. The front three, right? I'm going to be really honest now. Gyökeres, right? I keep hearing don't get enough service. We're playing bottom of the league. We don't get no service, right? Every time the ball comes up to him, I'm watching that game yesterday, right? I'm in a nice warm box. It was nice. I'm looking down at our fans freezing their nuts off with the snow and sleet coming in, right? Every time the ball goes up to him, I don't know if he's going to control it or not. I don't know if he's going to make a good... Oh, that's a good touch. The next one bobbles off and goes off. You've got to have someone up there you can trust in. When the ball goes up there, it stays and sticks. I see him isolated. Why is he isolated? Maybe the players, when the ball go up there, they're not too sure that if they sprint up towards him, he might lose it and we get caught out. Right? In his defence, every single time that man comes off, we can see goals. Every single time. So why take him off? What is the point of bringing on Jesus to run around for 10 minutes? What is the point of that? Right? What like for like substitutions every single time. Like, you know what I mean? I'd love to get all the millions of pounds he has and go, do you know what? What's your substitutes, Mikel? Like, you know, Trossard on, Martinelli off. Martinelli off, Trossard on. Madueke off, Saka on. Saka off, Martinelli on. Oh, I might do something different. Martinelli, you can go over to the right. I'm now desperate for Kai Havertz to come back in the side. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm not saying that he's going to be a great and all that. The 2 games that he's played, we won 4-0 and 3-0. Right? You know, but he can't last a game, as you said earlier on, Dan, like, you know what I mean? Because he's been running to the ground years and years, like weeks ago. I don't think Ben White can he couldn't even last against Wigan, a League One side, before coming off with fatigue. What would he have been like at Grimsby? We'd have sunk.
Yeah, that pitch there, bloody.
He would have sunk.
Yeah.
Would have seen him for 6 weeks. Not one of those players really had a hard shift on the weekend, did they? You tell me something now. Zubimendi. Shocking.
Stinker.
4-0 up against Wigan. You've got a young kid on the bench for 10 minutes. But you decide to bring on Zubimendi. What for?
Pathetic decision.
These are the things that are happening with him now, like, you know. And at the end of the day, he turned around and said, which is a great point, no better game than Spurs. Burnley at home would be better for me. Wolves away would be better for me than Tottenham away. It's not an easy game, boys. Make no mistake, it's not an easy game. And we've got to get players fit. We haven't got anybody in the team that can beat a man.
Yeah, no ball carriers, no ball progressors.
20, 30 yards. Get the ball, take us up 20, 30 yards. Do you know why? Because they've been all drilled out of them. Martinelli gets the ball, dribbles, and then he runs back with it and then plays it across. When did Madueke take on the fullback at any stage? Do you know why? Let's not lose the ball. Don't lose the ball, Madueke. Play it back. We are too safe in all our areas. He has to change the system now. Whether he'll do it at Tottenham or not, I don't know. But you've got Chelsea coming up, you've got Brighton coming up, and you've got Everton coming up. He has got to find a system where we're going to be beating these teams and beating them well. And I don't care if it's two in front and 2 whatever. You know, you've got players continually keep getting injured. Kai Havertz, I love him, but he's out. Not reliable enough. Trossard. He's had more injuries than he's had stakes in the last year. Not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to get himself having chips out. If he's on this vegan diet, I want him gone, Dan. I want him gone if that is the case. I'm sorry.
Odegaard. You mean Odegaard, not Trossard?
Who did I say? Trossard,
you said, yeah.
Sorry, Odegaard. You know what I mean? Trossard, I don't know where this...
What about him? What's this Calafiori, man? He's another Tommy Asso.
Another one. Unlucky with the goal yesterday. Like, it's hit him and it's hit his, you know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, you know, he's been a big loss to us. The balance of the team has not been quite right since he's gone out of the team. And that's nothing on Kepi, who's been very, very good. But when he was playing, you know what I mean? I'm not being horrible. In Kepi hurt him in a game against Everton, one game. You know what I mean? They're doing it to themselves. But at the end of the day...
the warm-ups as well.
Four times in warm-up. Four times. Trossard, that's 2 games this season that he's gone on. He's had a walk-in part. Walk in, walk off. I don't know where they're getting this.
I don't know what that was from Trossard, by the way. I don't know what that was from Trossard. Let me come in quickly on this point very quickly, right? I'll ask the boys this. I'll ask both you this, Aidan, Albert. I remember when Jurgen Klopp was at Liverpool and he had 4 years of blistering football, and then the whole team looked absolutely knackered. I wonder if there's some of that. Now, it's different because they bloody won stuff. But he has been flogging them just like Jurgen Klopp has for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about Ben White, who was seen as durable and doesn't get injured. I'm talking about Saka, who was seen as durable, who doesn't get injured. Odegaard, seen as durable, doesn't get injured. Havertz, seen as durable, doesn't get injured. Well, all them are. Gabriel, seen as durable, doesn't get injured. And I don't think, if I'm honest, I've seen a player look so bad in Bukayo Saka since coming back from injury. You know, when Michael Owen come back from that really bad injury, and I thought, oh my God, he don't look the same. I'm worried now. He's 24 and he's running like a 46-year-old. I mean, I saw him go through with literally one-on-one. He was through. If he could get away, he was through. And I was watching with the boys, and we looked at each other and went, oh dear, he's lost it. He's lost all of his pace. So Mikel's answer is, I need to kind of admit that was my fault. So because he's not explosive anymore, I'm going to put him in the 10. Basically what he's saying is, I fucked you for the right, mate. Sorry about that. Overplayed you and you're now done. So I'll have to put you in the middle as a 10 for the last 12 games, if that's all right. That was never written in the script, by the way. He's realised, shit, he can't play on the right anymore. He ain't got the explosiveness for it. I'm going to have to put him in. I am so close to admitting that I was right about the worry of Saka. I'm so close to going, he ain't going to be the same ever again. We might have a bit part player here, but it don't matter. We've just put him on 300k a week, so it's all good. But I don't know what you think, Aid, with this injury situation, man, because I think he's overplayed all of them and flogged them for years.
Yeah, I think he has. You look back at Jack Wilshere, don't you? With Arsene Wenger, how many games he played? I think he played 55 games in the season. Outstanding, wasn't he? And then that was it. He was gone after that. But I don't get these injuries that we're picking up. In warm-ups, in training. It has to be what they're doing. I know we're playing a lot of games. We are constantly playing 3 a week, and it's tough. However, what is going on in training as well, because that has a big effect on your players to picking up all these injuries all the time. Something ain't right, and something needs to change. Not just on the way we're playing, as in going forward, but something needs to change behind the scenes training, because these injuries are killing us, and no one's getting any consistency in their legs. Look at the ones that are consistent. Rice, Gabriel. I know he didn't play great yesterday, but they're playing all the time because they're consistent. These injuries that we keep picking up: Havertz, Saka, Gyökeres was injured, Odegaard. I mean, where is he? Apparently, it was just a small knock, and he hasn't played for 4 or 5 games now, and he's our captain of the team. So I just don't know what's going on, but whatever it is, ain't working, and we are losing players at the wrong time of the season. And when they do come back in, they're struggling. And 2 wins in 7 says it all, doesn't it? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's the warm-up ones that are killing me. How do you get injured in a warm-up? I really don't know. Saka, Calafiori twice. It's ridiculous. So whatever they're doing, they need to change. I don't know. Are they giving them enough rest during the week? Are they, the intensity in training is too much? I don't know. But it's like they're either not being looking after themselves or they're not being looking after by the club, and it's letting everybody down at the moment. But still not an excuse the way we've been playing recently. Oh, is it really? We should be going out and beating these teams and doing what we did 2 or 3 years ago, where we'd go out and smash teams. It's just a really frustrating period at the moment, and Man City are going to be all over it. And the pressure, I think Paul Merson said it today, didn't he? He said the word bottle job is going to be, echoed tenfold by everybody. And do these players have the minerals to be able to power through it? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a horrible time.
I've seen on DR Sports today, Liverpool fan chucking bottles at Robbie, do you know what I mean? The Chelsea fan chucking bottles at Robbie, you know what I mean? Where are they?
Yeah.
Where are they? Where you know what I mean? There's bottle and there's bottle, isn't there? At least we're in with a shout. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go down this narrative of bottling it. At least we're there and thereabouts putting up a fight.
I get that, Lee. I get that, but we've been putting up a fight for the last 3 years, and where we should probably at least won one of those. And it's not about bottling it. It's about, we're talking about Arteta, aren't we? He has pulled our club out from the pit, really, from where we was at. And like you said, he's got us to a level. And the big difference between him and the likes of Guardiola and like that is that they've been and done it, and they know exactly how to handle it when the pressure is on. And unfortunately, like you say, Arteta has not got us over the line, and the pressure is just as much on him as it is on the players, because he'll be feeling that. You know, he hasn't got us to the level to win the Premier League or win something big. You know, he won the FA Cup, which was great, but you know, since then he's got us higher and higher up in the Premier League. But again, we're having the same conversation. Mid-February, beginning of March, where suddenly the wheels are starting to come off, and it's been happening every season for the last 3-4 seasons. So something needs to change, and I can't even really put my finger on what needs to change. But we are not looking like a team at the moment that's going to go on and win the Premier League. And we haven't spoken. And I was really thinking about this earlier on. We haven't really spoke about it a lot because every time we have a chance to pull away, we don't do it. And then the team, i.e. Man City and Villa at the time, also don't take their chances. But, you know, there's only so many chances you can take to pull away and not take them, or the team behind you actually put a run together. You know, and that win, like I said earlier on, that win for City at Anfield, that is going to push them now going forward. And I don't think they're going to drop many more points. And you know, I think we're in trouble. This game on Sunday, I don't care that it's Spurs. Really, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And everything as well. You know, got a new manager. You know, no nonsense manager. What a opportunity for these Spurs players to, you know, nail in the coffin against us on Sunday, and trust me, they are going to be right up for it. You know, the fans are going to be right up for it. There's no more. Obviously, their manager's just gone; he's not there no more, so they're looking at a new start. It's going to be a massive game for us, and if we come through it with a win, then, you know, fair play to the boys, because it's going to be absolute. The atmosphere, I presume you're going, Lee. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely crazy, and can our boys handle it? On their performances recently, I'm not so sure.
Well, Albert, they've got to. It's a great way to bounce back in North London derby rivals. You've got Chelsea and then Brighton away. 3 tough games, by the way. And this is the way we need to bounce back. But I don't know if you want to add to any of the comments that have been said, and then your thoughts going into North London derby, mate, as we come to a close.
Yeah. Let me add a few things now. Great points by Aid. Dan, you know what it is. I've mentioned this before, and I could understand if this was a team that had just been assembled, put together, and they were strangers and they met 3 to 6 months ago. I've spoken about this before when we was trying to get Champions League football. We remember the penultimate game against Newcastle and Spurs, and, you know, the pain of not making Champions League, and then you chuck in the 2 title runs. I'm not going to include last season because that wasn't. So, you know, the 2 seasons before that. So you have a group of players and a manager that have gone through the pain of not getting over the line. So what you want to do in turn, and I'll take Judge's point, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's given to you. However, it is Arsenal Football Club, and we've got a tradition of winning major honours. So you kind of want to use that disappointment and the bitter feeling and not getting over the line. Now, either the players are not learning, or the manager's just not got that's something, that sort of X factor about him to get these guys over the line. There's point of reference there over the last 3 or 4 years. So I mentioned it about, you know, the Carabao Cup semi-final last season. As angry as you guys were yesterday, I was the same with that, because I know how big a game that was. Because at that time, we hadn't made a major final for 5 years. That's a long time. We have to go back to COVID times. And when I talk about them not learning, you know, there was the horrific stat last season in regards to losing points from winning positions. Now, if you combine 2025 Dan and 2026, we must be at least the 30-point mark from winning positions. 10 points out of a possible 21, I think it is, in recent. You cannot win a league title with that type of performances. And the thing is, just to finish up, Dan, I played you the clip. I watched and big up Sophie Nicolau, because she's been on this train for quite a long time with Arsenal. And I watched back pages yesterday on James Ollie's ESPN, and I thought he was spot on the money of what he said. I played the video to you before we went live. It's all well telling us as fans to get there early. It's all well telling us to bring the emotion, bring the energy, the hype videos. Are you serious? Do you honestly think Arsenal fans of my generation, maybe a little bit younger, our guys' ages, do you think we're not doing that? Now, that's just us as the fans. So I don't care how strong you are as a player mentally at Arsenal Football Club in recent years, because you do not have a reference point of winning trophies at Arsenal. Now, people said to me, oh, yeah, but Albert, you know, Havertz won the Champions League and Victor's won what he won in Portugal and Zubimendi. I said, but that's with that. I understand what you're saying in terms of winning mentality, but I'm talking about in terms of being a core group of players at Arsenal. We've got no reference points. It was mentioned earlier. I was on Sophie's show with Kenny Ken, the SWOT analysis. And Sophie said to me, what are the threats, outside influences? I said, yeah, there is, but the biggest threat to Arsenal is Arsenal themselves. They've shown that in multiple seasons. Yesterday was probably just a tip of the iceberg. So I get the kind of the emotion and the urgency, but I think that filters down through to the players, man. And it's no coincidence you've seen some of the performances you've seen this season. So the fact of the matter is they're going to continue doing the hype videos. Dan, we don't need to be up for a North London derby. You crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter whether we're going for the league or not. And A's made the point, and I have to look at these group of players. I have to be really, really honest. Like I said, this is not a group of players that have just been joined together. You've got players that are 27, 24. They've got more than enough Premier League experience. I looked at Mikel yesterday when he did the post-match. He looked like a broken man. I don't expect him to be happy when you see a team play the way they're playing. But Dan, I'll tell you what summed up Arsenal yesterday to finish up quickly. And I've seen the video flying around. Obviously, when you're watching the game, you're in the moment. We have a 2v2 situation at 2-1.
Yeah.
With Jesus and Martinelli. 18 seconds later, they go and score. It's completely unforgivable. Unbelievable. So the answer is, Dan, I said this yesterday on Sophie Show. I don't know where these players go, because we was told as Arsenal fans, or we got kind of drip fed after the Man United game at home. They had an epiphany moment, the players. Mikel spoke to them, whatever it is, one-to-ones, team meetings, after training, whatever it was. This was good for Arsenal. They lost to Manchester United at home. They can reset. Cool. We beat Sunderland. We beat Leeds. But then this what makes the result even worse yesterday. Because if we've had a reset after Manchester United, how do you explain that yesterday? And we still got to go to Man City. 10 points out of a possible 21. And then you get, Dan, you said it. People say, oh, you need to chill. Chill about what? Go and tell the 3,000 Arsenal fans that went yesterday, and go and tell them they still need to chill because we're ahead. Yes, Matty, yes, we are ahead in the league. But, the Arsenal players have got to give us something in terms of ammunition. We can't fend off all the bottle job tags and all the rest of the negativity that comes with it. The Arsenal players and the manager, they're the ones to set the narrative to get over the line. They've got a cut fans to look forward to. But the reality in terms of the league, I generally don't know. And I tell the Arsenal fans, buckle up. They talk about a squeaky bum time. Squeaky bum time is not April this time for Arsenal. It's now. It's now. It started yesterday after the draw. It's now.
Facts. It's not even got to the proper into the title race yet. Big up to Gavin, who's a new member. Big up to you, bro. Hope you're well. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We've got nearly 900 people in here, so make sure you've hit like and subscribe, people. Look, let's come to a close, lads, because we've got to go. AD, Lee, Albert, just quickly to round up, what's happening at the weekend? AD, I'll start with you.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it depends what happens in the first 20, 25 minutes for me, because Spurs fans are going to be rocking in this game, and it will rub off on their players. And the new manager, he's no nonsense, isn't he? So, the recipe's there for them to go at us and take a lead. If we can get through 25 minutes, half hour, and quieten the crowd and maybe score, but I'm not sure. They are going to come right at us right from the beginning. The crowd are going to be right up for it. Are our players going to be able to switch off from that noise and play the game that Arteta wants us to play? Because at the end of the day, Spurs are terrible. They are terrible at the moment, but they ain't going to be terrible Sunday. I'll tell you that right now. It's a recipe for disaster for Arsenal. Drawing against Wolves, because all the fans and all my WhatsApp groups, my football groups, they're all Tottenham fans. They're all giving it. All the videos are flying around, so they're going to be right up for trying to again derail more of our title push. Well, I am just going to try and be as positive as I can, and hopefully, the boys can bounce back and get through that first half hour. I don't know. It's a real tough one. But I'm going to put my neck on the line. Get through that first 25 minutes, we'll win the game, because Spurs are not good. They're not a good football team right now. They're really poor, and we've got a good record there as well. So I think we'll win. It'll be tough. I think they will score 2-1, but I'm going to be positive. I think we win, but it's a real tough one, isn't it? Because, like I said, the recipe for Spurs to be right up for this game. We have to be right up for this game, but there's a different pressure on us compared to what it is on them. There's no pressure on them at all. So I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, but it's going to be a horrible game. It's going to be a horrible watch as well.
It's going to be nasty. I'm not looking forward to it at all, which is why I'm going to go 1-1 draw. Albert, quickly give you a prediction, bro, and I'll come to Lee to close.
God, I'm still trying to contemplate whether to do a watch along, Dan, to be honest. But one thing, you won't get the same performance. I hope you won't. But Dan, I'm going to go for us to sneak it 2-1.
Okay. Nice. Judges, you can
Art says 2-1. Head says 1-1.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. All right, look, people, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough hour. It's been a tough watch, and it's been a tough ride. But it's all good therapy in a way, because we get it off our chests. But make sure you hit like,
no gain,
people. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to send you over to LB, because it's me and him now at 9. So make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you over there in a minute. And Lee, I'll let you say bye, mate.
Yeah, well, I've got to go quickly now because the Forever Arsenal's live tonight. So I'm off. Listen, have a good weekend. Let's just do them Spurs. That's the end of it. Like, you know what I mean? No excuses. Get it done. And I'll tell you what, the players can redeem themselves by winning that game. Good night, everybody.